I think it'd probably be better without the light. Uh, I hate to say what I say every single time, but it's just the truth. And I guess it is the truth every time, since I have no care for being a YouTuber. So that means now every time I upload it is for the sole purpose of just updating anyone who may have been here for the long haul from way back in the day. Yeah, buddy. I am at work at Pharmavite. I got off early. They gave me some, what do you call it, PTO? Yeah. So I put in for PTO, but my wife works here, so I get off early, but I sit in the car. I could go home, but I'd go to sleep. Be very grumpy if I had to wake up and come back here. And I'm just happy to be sitting in the car instead of being in there working. So that's nice, you know. I ain't going, well, whatever. I ain't gotta hit home. I think my last video was saying that I had a job coming up. Yeah, it's this job. Very nice job. Bunches of money. Best paying job I've ever had. Not to mention it's doubled because my wife works here too. I make gummy vitamins for Nature Made. The plant is called Pharmavite. Pharmavite. Yeah. But the brand of vitamins that we make is Nature Made. Either way. Yeah. I'm in the gummies department. She's in tableting, but she's a team lead. I'm trying to think of what to say. Still sober. No marijuanas. Definitely no meth. This might be the fattest y'all have ever seen me. Might be the most handsome I've ever been for my YouTube channel. I don't know what the hell to talk about. I just wanted to give you an update because I was like, oh yeah, my last update I think was about before I started the job, like I was on my way to start. Orientation, I was all full of anxiety. I mean, it went well, but I never became comfortable, I guess you'd say. I'd say for almost a month I've been comfortable. Takes me a while. A lot of anxiety. A lot of worrying about who's a dickhead and who's going to be rude and who's going to make me want to flip out and blah, blah, blah. I'm done learned everybody, though. There's only one person that I'd say is rude. And even, I mean, nothing that makes me want to flip out or whatever, you know. None of that mess. Everything's pretty nice. It's nice company. Nice coworkers. I kind of have a nice trainer. I'm not being trained anymore, but, you know, he's still there for any time something goes wrong. Anytime I F up, you know, just don't repeat the F up, and eventually you run out of F ups to do, right? It's like yesterday, I didn't realize there's this piece of paper, record, whatever you call it, you got to fill out when you clean Skid 3. Big old auger and all that. You got to fill out some information and write your name. But yeah, I'm the one who cleaned it out after this order was ran through it. I didn't realize that they take that piece of paper as serious as they do our batch records, where we, you know, one order can have anywhere from 3 to 20 batches of whatever ingredients. They take the batch records very serious. You know, you got to fill it out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know that this piece of paper about cleaning the Skid 3 was taking that serious, so I messed up and was like, whatever, you know, just took a black marker and went through it. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do proper corrections. They have their way they want you to do it. You put a thin pen line through it so they can still see what you did. There's something along the lines of falsifying batch records, and it's what is it, like FDA, something like that. So it's all taken very serious because, you know, it's supplements, vitamins that you're putting in your body. So the rules and whatnot are pretty strict. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Night shift, obviously. It took me, when I first started, my legs, my feet, kind of my hips were not used to it. They're, so that took a second. Took a good handful of days of taking Tylenol or ibuprofen. I watched a video about how a lot of NSAIDs used to cause stomach ulcers real bad, and ibuprofen is actually one of them. So I've been scared of that because I've had acid reflux recently. So I'm like, oh no, stomach ulcers. Either way, what I was saying was, my body had to adapt. Taking a lot of different nootropics and stuff. KW 6356, 9-MeBC. KW 6536 is one. Next, 9-MeBC. Next, Bromantane. Next, GB 115. Next, ACD 186. I don't know. They're close, if not accurate. They're pretty cool. A lot of good memory help. Like Bromantane on its own is I guess you could say it works how they in Fantasyland, if SSRIs worked perfect and they were giving you a description of how this perfect SSRI worked, that's basically Bromantane. Like, it's just like, wow, I feel, the opposite of depressed. The opposite, when you take it. Extremely social, which is odd for me because I can be in the best of moods, but as soon as I'm around strangers, I just kind of shut down. I'm like, strangers, how y'all doing? Goodbye. Let me escape this. So, either way, with Bromantane, just be like, hey, how you doing? Talk. I've already, like, some of the people that I started working here, sorry, different subjects. Either way, I just remembered that one of the guys that worked with me got fired. He got caught napping and laying on something. I feel bad for him because, you got to put yourself in their shoes. It's like, is it funny? For whatever reason, yes, just the absurdity or whatever. But then you got to, in order to not be a dickhead, a heartless dickhead, you got to be like, well, what if I was them? And then you're like, oh, that sucks. That's real sad. He wasn't the friendliest of people. I worked with him. I wouldn't call him a friend. He's one of them white dudes, like I used to be. One of them white dudes who tries his best not to be white, like when I used to listen to Kevin Gates kind of deal. Yeah, that kind of deal. Other than that, I'm the only white dude left in the gummies department other than my boss, like the supervisor. The team lead, he's something. Got a tan, but I don't know what he is. None of that matters. I just thought it was funny about the guy acting like he ain't white. Oh yeah, back to the nootropics. Let's see what else. I occasionally take modafinil. I usually take it on my last day of work before I have another day off. And with how the schedule is, that's about 2 times a week. So, like, for example, if I work the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll take it Sunday night. And then if we were off the weekend, so that would mean that we work Monday, Tuesday, then we'd be off Wednesday, Thursday. But either way, we work Monday, Tuesday, so then I take it Tuesday. Either way. It's not a requirement or anything. It's just something to look forward to, something to keep the mood positive, so you're not like just moping about the fact of work or whatever. I love the schedule. I still complain, I guess, because there's always a way to complain if you want to complain, I guess. When you're tired, you'll definitely find the way to complain. Me anyways, if I'm tired, I'm gonna Not like I'm complaining to anybody at work, just, kind of complaining to myself or talking to my wife, or if anybody asks me something about the job. Like, for example, if you're working, days in a row, whatever days in a row, when you get off and you have to go back in, there is less than 8 hours. It sucks. Because they want you to get here, early, and then, however, I got to stay late because that's the way my wife and my schedule, because we clock in, she clocks in before me, but gets off before me. So I have to be here earlier than I want to be, and she has to be here later than she wants to be. Or would be without the other, that kind of deal. So I seen somebody walking. It's about time for day shift to start pulling into the parking lot. I'm using a water bottle as a headrest. It's very conveniently the perfect size. Like my head, this is the position that my head wants to be in. Any more back would be uncomfortable. Any more forward's uncomfortable. This is where it needs to be. I went to the gas station a little while ago. It was open all night. They cook food too. Man, I feel queasy. I love hot wings, but talking about it, I just wanted to throw up just now. Golly. I'm over 180 pounds, which is what I was on steroids. That's insane. It's insane just because I never fathomed it. Being starving as much as I have throughout my life. First, because of parents and their food choices, feeding choices, their bill priorities like beer and cigarettes. It took me till I was an adult to even realize a lot of that stuff was not right. It's not like it's not that I was ungrateful, because I thought it was normal, so I was grateful. But either way, to realize it was wrong doesn't mean I'm becoming ungrateful. It's just realizing that hamburger patties and ramen noodle packets for days and days and weeks and months is not the way for a human body to grow with the proper nutrition to function properly. So not only did I have a bad example, but like something, my brain couldn't grow right. I started taking lithium, and it felt like the biggest change in my life. And not prescribed, like low dose, normal, what you would get in your diet if you eat a healthy diet type lithium. And it made me feel so much better when it comes to not being an angry bastard. Either way, so first was growing up, then was meth, or no, then was homelessness, then was meth, got fat for my first time on steroids. I came off the steroids, and I don't know if they had anything to do with me not being able to eat, because I blamed the steroids for the longest time, where I came off steroids and I couldn't eat. But my inability to eat solid foods, even though it was there for years, starting after quitting steroids, that problem went away when I quit smoking weed. So, I don't know. I don't know what to blame. I blame the THC now. Either way. And now I just eat like hell. I don't even take no steroids. Yeah. I'm gonna pause this so I can see if I can think of anything else to talk about, because I'm rambling. What do you call it? Delirious. I worked 6 hours before I got off early, which ain't a long time, but I've been up for all night. Alright, I legit, I know that was not even a half a second for y'all because I just paused it, but I legit can't think of nothing. I just sat here for probably a minute or more. Just like, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? What should I talk about? I'm like, nothing. I can't think of nothing. Oh, hey, there's something. My dog, not July, stupid. New Year's just went by. I have a dog that's, 1.5, so either way, 1 year old. and she experienced fireworks for her first time. Well, I don't know why July 4th wouldn't have been. I don't know. I don't remember. Who cares? Either way, this was her first time really experiencing fireworks. And it did not go well. She was, kind of, she wasn't acting terrified or nothing like you see dogs do where they get all scared and stuff. She wasn't doing that. Her name's Freckle, by the way. She wasn't doing that. She was, she'd hear a bang or a lot of bangs outside from the fireworks. My neighbors are doing it. One of my neighbors has money, so they had all the crazy ones. And she'd, look up and kind of look interested, maybe even excited. And I'd make some noises, be like, oh, what is it? And she'd be like, huh? Looking around, like, didn't show any fear at all. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to take her outside and put her in the pen for a few minutes to use the bathroom, let her back in. Typical. I'm like, all right, you want to go out? She jumps up, she's all excited, great time. She steps out onto the porch, and the sky lights up. Just typical firework. Psh, all the colors, big boom, bang. She steps out on the porch and just books it. Just takes the hell off at full speed, pitch black nighttime. I'm like, I can't see her. And I can't catch her either. Maybe when I was younger I could have caught her. Either way. So, tried to call her, drove down the road, all that stuff, did that for I don't know how many hours before I finally went to bed. So my dog ran away and was missing. Next morning, thank the Lord, someone posted on Facebook, because we made some posts or whatever, me and the wife, and someone posted, they're like, hey, we found this dog, posted the pictures of her. And so someone who's seen their post and my post, like, kind of started doing a little cross tag thing to let them know and let us know. So awesome. We'll go get our dog. Great. That's a great news. Oh, by the way, it was below freezing. Had to cut the water off because, didn't want the pipes to freeze. So she was out in the freezing cold all night and didn't even realize until the next day that she has like a scratch on her nose that has some, like dried blood on it, but it's so tiny that I was like, probably ran through some briars while she was out all night. And a weird spot on her eyes. I figured same thing. And it was really, really small. I was like, okay, she got into some briars, something. Maybe. I don't know. Well, pretty sure she got blasted by a car, truck, something, because a few hours later, like into the day after we had gotten her back after New Year's, looked at her, noticed something was off about her paws. Yeah, her two front paws, the padding on the bottom, the padding is gone, just pink flesh. So I don't know exactly, like, I can't visualize how the hell that would happen, but ain't too many things could do that. Yeah, but she's happy, healthy. She spent the entire day, and that night, it was just the next night, it was just dead to the world. And this is a hyperactive, blah blah blah, extremely hyper dog that is almost never calm. But that day and that night, the next night, she was super calm. She's like, hey, you guys, I froze to death all night. I got assaulted in some way, shape, or form, assuming by a vehicle. I need to rest. But she's back to normal now. Of course her paws are still healing, but she's back to being a crazy loon of a dog. Yeah. So I guess I'll end this video. If you like this video, comment on this video, share this video. I can't remember the thing. I used to do a thing. I stole it from I can't remember his name. He used to be with a woman. They broke up now. They were a prank channel. He would be like, you should like this video, comment on this video, share this video, blah, blah, blah. I stole that little thing from back when I wanted to be a YouTuber and used it. And I just tried to do it and failed. Either way. For all the long timers, howdy howdy. For all the folks that have watched me go downhill and downhill and downhill and F up in life and F up in life, and maybe it'll be nice for you to finally see me doing good, feeling good, looking good. I don't know how to say it without it sounding like I'm trying to make excuses for bad behavior, but it's amazing what having money and being healthy, the difference it makes. Like, really. And having a job, a nice job, because even when I've had jobs before this, they were always kind of, you know, I'm working in a grocery store or something, so it's like, yeah, you're working, but I don't know, it just seems like real men could still look down on you kind of deal, or whatever you want to call it. But now that I'm making the big bucks and I got weight on me, I'm nice and thick, and all that, it's just amazing how much better you can do and how less stressed you are, and the stress, without the stress, it's like a lot less anger and blah blah blah, and you don't care about the things that you cared about so much that you'd always be pissy about and have resentment about, or anything, just anything. Like, I was jobless, starving, and yeah, just all that kind of stuff, self-conscious as hell, anxiety through the roof, and I would just post on Facebook every day, probably multiple times a day, and every post I would make would be something crazy, but that's just me, either way. And then my craziness, or my post, I would think about the post, and I would think about the people on my friends list seeing it, and I would think about them disapproving, or their difference of opinions, or them looking at, or imagine them looking at my post and thinking whatever about me, and just go insane. It's embarrassing to even admit that, but yeah, I would just go insane every day, just falling apart more and more, caring about the stupidest of things, unimportant things in life, just because I'm unhappy with myself. That is a phrase or something I've heard a lot, though, so I guess it makes sense. It's like you're unhappy with yourself, so then you try to be unhappy with everybody else, or something like that. Sort of, kind of. But yeah. Dang, 23 minutes. I'm going to end this now. Peace on the streets.